Hello students, in previous video of this chapter, that is body movement, we had discussed about body movements, skeleton, parts of skeleton and their functions, joint of the body and how they helpful to us. Now in this video, I will explain you about muscles contraction and movement in animals. So let's take a view on the topics we will cover in this part of the chapter 8. Okay, in this part we will learn about what makes the body move and get in animals. Get in animals means a specific pattern of movement. Okay, let's start with muscles. Muscle is a fibrous tissue in the body that has ability to contract. When a muscle contracts, it becomes shortened. Shortened means it becomes smaller. And muscles are attached to the bones of our body. So when the muscle attached to a bone contract, it pulls the bone, due to which the bone moves at the joint. Now one thing you have to know that the muscle can only pull a bone. It cannot push a bone. This basically means that two muscles or a pair of muscles work together to move a bone. Means when one muscle of the pair contract or shorten, the other muscles of the pair is stretch or relax. So the movement of body parts, that is locomotion in human beings, is brought about by the alternate contraction and stretching of muscles attached to the movable bones of skeleton. They produce movements such as moving the head, bending of arm, straightening of arm, walking or running, etc. And these all contraction of muscles which bring about movement, they all controlled by the brain. So we will describe the bending and straightening of our arm. Okay, as you know that our arm consists of two parts, upper arm and lower arm, which are joined at the elbow. The upper arm has one bone and the lower arm has two bones. The upper arm bone has a pair of muscles called biceps and triceps on its two sides. See in diagram, you can see the bicep muscles and triceps muscles. We will now describe how the pair of muscles, biceps and triceps, move the arm. See in diagram 1. Diagram A shows the bending of arm and diagram B shows the straightening of arm. First, when we want to bend the arm, the bicep muscle contract and it becomes shorter and fatter. As it's shown in diagram, when the bicep muscles contract, it becomes shorter and fatter. And bicep muscles is called flexor muscle because it flexes the arm. Flexes means it bends the arm. Okay, as I told you earlier that muscles work in pair. Means if one muscle of the pair contract, the other muscle of the pair relax. Same as when the bicep muscle contract and bend the arm, the tricep muscles stretch or relax. Okay. See in diagram A, the bicep muscles contract, it becomes short and fatter. Same time, the tricep muscles stretch and becomes thin and long. Now about diagram B, straightening of arm. When we want to straighten the arm, the tricep muscles contract and it becomes shorter and fatter. And tricep muscles are called extension muscle because it extends the arm. And here also, when the tricep muscle contract and straighten the arm, then the bicep muscles stretch or relax. Thus, by the alternate contraction and relaxation of biceps and tricep muscles, we can bend or straighten the arm. That is, we can move the lower arm up and down. One important thing that biceps and triceps muscles Just bend and straighten the arm. Rest other muscles move the arm in other directions. Okay, clear about this? About the contraction of muscles? We will now describe how the various animals move from one place to another. Gait in animals. Gait is basically referred for the pattern of movement of limbs of animals and human during the locomotion over a solid substrate. And why they need locomotion of movement? It is necessary for animals to be able to move from one place to another, to find food and escape from their enemies. And many animals, including human beings, walk with their legs. Human beings walk by contracting and relaxing muscles in their legs in a coordinate manner. In fact, every animal has to push something backward with its body part to be able to move forward. For example, a fish pushes on water backward with its tail to move forward. Okay, clear? Movement in animals basically characterized in two types: movement with legs and movement without legs. So we will first discuss the movement in cockroach and bird. Cockroach and birds are the animals which have legs to walk on ground and wings to fly in air. So let's start with cockroach. Cockroach is an insect. See in diagram, it shows that the body of cockroach is covered with a hard and tough outer covering called exoskeleton. And skeleton of cockroach is called exoskeleton because it is outside the body. Exo means outside. And it provides a great protection to the internal organ of the cockroach and also provides site for attachment of muscles. Cockroach moves on ground as well as flies in air. Now about cockroach. A cockroach has 6 legs, 3 legs on each side of its body. See, it is given in diagram, 3 legs on each side of the body. The cockroach moves or walk on the ground by using its leg. Now a cockroach has 2 pairs of wings attached to its breast by flight muscles. The cockroach flies in air by moving its wings up and down rapidly with the help of flight muscles. This also shows the downstroke and upstroke. We will discuss this downstroke and upstroke in birds column. And this keeps the cockroach flying. Okay, so about the cockroach you have to remember it has an exoskeleton, 3 pairs of legs and 2 pairs of wings that help to cockroach to walk and fly. Now about birds. Sparrow, crow, pigeon, parrot, hen, duck and peacock all are birds. And birds walk on ground and also fly in air. And some birds like duck and swan, they also swim in water. So birds walk on the ground by using their hind limbs. Those birds which swim in water do so by pushing against water with their hind limbs, which have the webbed feet. Webbed feet help the birds in swimming in water. Now birds can fly. Birds can fly because their bodies are adapted for this purpose. So what are the main adaptation which have been made in their bodies a bird by nature to enable them to fly? So these are the adaptation that their forelimbs are modified to form wings for flying. Their flight feather provide a large flat surface which is light but strong. Their bones are hollow and light. Their bodies are streamlined and extremely light. They have powerful flight muscles and their breastbone is extended for attachment of large flight muscles which move the wings up and down. We will now describe how a bird actually flies. Birds fly by a constant flapping up and down movement. It is called flapping. A constant flapping of their wings. See in diagram ABC, 3 are shown. First two shows the down stroke and third one shows for the up stroke. During down stroke, the raised wing of bird go down and back. When the wings go down, they push the air down and the air pushes up the wings with an equal force which make the birds go up. Thus, during the downstroke of wings, the air is pushed downward and backward, and the equal and opposite reaction force of air pushes the bird up and forward and make it fly. Now, after making the downstroke, the wings must go back up to their starting position. So, see in diagram B and C, while bringing the wings up during upstroke, the bird partially folds its wings so that the effect of air is reduced. So the pattern of flying is that the birds fly by flapping their wings up and down, and each flapping includes a down stroke and an up stroke. Clear? So this is about cockroach and birds. Okay. Now we usually associate movement with legs, but all animals do not have legs. The animals which do not have legs use only the muscles of their body for moving from one place to place. Some of animals which do not have legs are earthworm, snail, fish and snake. We will now describe how these animals move from one place to other without legs. Starting with earthworm. An earthworm does not have bones or legs. It has a muscle which help to lengthen and shorten the body. And an earthworm's body consists a liquid filled segment. Segment means compartment joined together. The earthworm body has two types of muscles, circular muscle and longitudinal muscle. When circular muscle contract, they make the segment of earthworm long and thin. And when longitudinal muscle contract, they make the long and thin segment short and fat again. So each segment of earthworm body has a tiny bristles. Bristle means hair-like structure on its underside. This is because it helps to move into the ground, to grip the ground, or withdrawn to release the ground. Now we will describe how an earthworm moves from one place to another. Okay. See this diagram, it shows how an earthworm moves. An earthworm moves by lengthening and shortening its body alternatively by using the circular muscle and longitudinal muscle respectively. Say diagram, fourth diagram, it is given A, B, C and D. Figure A. It shows the normal shape of the body of earthworm when it is stationary. Stationary means not moving. So in this position, all the segment of earthworm body are short and fat. And the bristle on the underside of the body is gripping the ground. See, it is given in diagram A. That earthworm is in stationary position and all segments of earthworm body are short and fat and bristle gripping the ground. Now in diagram B, to move forward, the earthworm contracts circular muscle of the front segment, due to which the front part of its body becomes long and thin. See, when it start moving, the front part lengthens and moves ahead. During this time, the bristle of front part only, withdrawn from the ground, but the back part of the bristle remain fixed to the ground by gripping action of bristles. Now in third step, the longitudinal muscle of front part of the earthworm contract and make it short and fat again. And the bristle of front part now grip the ground. At same time, the circular muscle of back part contract and make the back part of the body long and thin. And in last, finally, the longitudinal muscle of back part of the earthworm contract and make it short and fat, pulling the body forward. So in this way, earthworm complete one step of its movement and cover a small distance. By repeating these steps, the earthworm keeps on moving further and the body of earthworm secrete a slimy substance. Slimy means moist, soft and slippery substance which help in its movement. Okay, so in movement of earthworm, first the front part of the body it lengthens, and in next step the back part of the body lengthens. It shows the alternative lengthening and shortening of the body movement. Clear? This is about the diagram. Now next is about snail. Snail is a very slow moving animal with a shell on its back. The body of the snail is soft and consists of a head, foot and a shell. The head of snail has two pair of tentacles for catching prey, and the larger pair of tentacles has little eyes in them. The shell is the outer skeleton of the snail, but it is not made of bones. The shell contains internal organ, and in dangerous or unfavorable condition, the snail withdraw its head and foot into the shell. The snail has only one foot under its body, and the foot is a large, flat and disc shape which is made of strong muscles, and it is called muscular foot. The snail moves with the help of large disc-shaped muscular foot. And how they move? There are two sets of muscles in the foot of the snail which contract and expand alternatively, producing a kind of wave effect. Snails are also called gastropods. Gastropods means belly-footed animals. And the movement of snail is called creeping. In a way, the movement of snail is similar to that of earthworm, but earthworm, however, moves much faster than a snail. Okay, now next is about fish. Fish can move in water, move or swim in water, because its body is specially adapted for this purpose. Fish is adapted to move in water by having a streamlined shape, flexible backbone, powerful body muscles and fins. A fish has streamlined body. Streamlined body means being thin in front, thick in middle and again thin at back. This shape is called streamlined body. Due to streamlined shape, water can easily flow around the body of fish and offer least resistance to the movement. Next, fish has a flexible backbone. Due to the flexible backbone, a fish can bend its body easily from side to side move through water. It has a powerful body muscles. Fish has a powerful body, strong body muscles on both sides, help in moving its tail, and fish has fin. The thin and flat projection on the body of fish, it is called fin. And the fins help in fish in steering, balancing and stopping in water. The tail fin also helps in moving fish forward in water. We will not describe how fish moves in water or swims in water. And keep in mind that when an object pushes water in backward direction, then water pushes that object in forward direction with an equal force. Are you getting my point? That when an object pushes water in backward direction, then water pushes that object in forward direction with an equal force. It happens with all sea animals. Fish swim in water by moving its tail from side to side. Say diagram A. The tail of fish is pushing water to right side and backward. The effect of right side push the tail on water is compensated by the fish by turning its head on the left side. Means if the tail push water right side, the head turn to left side. And in diagram B, when the tail of fish is pushing water to left side, the fish balances body by turning its head to the right side. And the backward push of the tail on water makes the fish move forward. So the net result of beating the water with tail on both sides is that the fish keeps on moving forward or swimming continuously. Clear? Now next topic is about snake. The body of snake is long and cylindrical. The snake has long flexible backbone which make its body bend easily to form loops. Loops means curves. It also has strong muscles connected to its skeleton. Snakes do not have legs. Even then they move quite fast. Snakes use their whole long and flexible body to move from one place to another. We will describe the most common way of movement in snake. See, a snake moves forward by moving its body sideways in a form of many loops and pushing against the ground and underside of moving loops. So basically we can say that a snake moves forward by moving sideways. The special name of the wave-like motion of snake is slither, and we can also say that the snake slither on ground by looping sideways. Snake moves in S shape. S shape means a zigzag manner. The snake moves forward very fast but not in straight line.